All right, still trying to reconcile this. The Florida Gators go 4-8 in 2013. Then they follow that up with a 6-5 with a bowl win, so 7-5 last season. Then they have 8 players drafted to the NFL. A lot of talent on this team that didn't win a and we saw it in May's NFL draft, and we got David Waters in from SEC Sports Insider to try to sort out this talent, but more importantly, who's going to fill the gaps for the Gators coming up this fall. So, David, let's throw out the most talented and highly regarded of the bunch. You got Dante Fowler, the 3rd pick in the draft, going to the Jags. 15 tackles for loss, 8.5 sacks. So how did the Gators replace Dante Fowler Jr.?
They replaced him with his roommate from last year. It was actually McAllister going into the bowl game last year that led the team with sacks, not Fowler. Fowler had 3 in the bowl game, and they had a little running joke. Fowler said, "Yeah, I finally got you." So that was the little joke run between them. But yeah, he's 6'6". He was 215 when he came in. He's a redshirt junior now. He was 215 when he came in. He's now up to 246. He's tall and lean. He's a little different style than Fowler, not as big. So the question is, can he get pushed around a little bit? But like I said, he put on a little bit of weight, still nowhere near the weight Fowler was, but he does have the speed, arm length that you probably look for in the defensive end. He talked to him a good bit in the spring. A lot of this was really brought up. How can you replace the production of Fowler, who most people thought was going to be a top 5 pick? And he goes, you know what? I'm getting double. He's confident going into this year. He said Fowler gave him a lot of pointers. They were roommates, like I said, and they just got really close. So he picked up on how to play the game. Fowler, so if he can match the motor that Dante Fowler had, never quitting on each play, McAllister. I don't think he'll be as dominant as Fowler. I think Fowler was a special type of players. But, if he can get, 6, 7, 8 sacks, and match that, I think the defense will be in good hands.
So the defense was compared to the offense the past couple of years, more drafted along the offensive side. So let's hit the other defender in linebacker Neron Ball. Goes to the Oakland Raiders in the 5th round. Had a fairly productive final season, but nothing too eye-popping. 49 stops, 3 tackles for loss, and 2 sacks. So the Gators at linebacker, how are they looking coming up this season without Ball?
Antonio Morrison, he'll be counting on coming back, but he kind of plays, more of the inside linebacker type. Ball, he'll play a little more on the outside. Florida, with the DB talent they have, it's really going to end up playing on linebackers. So you're going to have Jared Davis and Morrison would be your main 2 linebackers. Alec Anzalone, highly regarded recruit from a few years ago, was finally out there this past spring, out there making plays. Daniel McMillan from here in Jacksonville had a really good spring game. People think a lot of people thought this core maybe has no depth. So I don't really see it that way. But I think there's some good young guys, some guys that are finally getting healthy, and I think the linebacker core, in my opinion, will be better than it was last year.
All right, David, let's get to the real issue on this football team. Let's look at the draft here. DJ Humphries goes 1st round offensive tackle, goes to the Cowboys in the 3rd round. Another 3rd rounder. Or I'm sorry, you got in the 5th and the 7th rounds, Max Garcia, who played both guard and center, and also Trent Brown, who basically was a guard with the Gators. You lose 4 offensive linemen. How does this possibly play out for the Gators up front this fall?
My question, Tosson's a 1st-round pick. I guess the measurables, combine, he nailed that, but I still remember him getting beat left and right. In the swamp and on the road in SEC games. So, in my mind, how he was a 1st-round pick. But, Florida will use it to their advantage. They'll put it in all the programs, another 1st-round pick. But yeah, David Sharp will probably step into the left tackle position. Humphries is going to leave behind 6'6", 350 pounds, up from 330. Played in 6 games last year as a true freshman. And really improved as the season went on. But it's kind of sad that if Trip Thurman doesn't come back, he's set out the spring. If he doesn't come back this year, Sharp, as sophomore, will be the most experienced offensive lineman coming back from Florida. So that's, not a good situation there. 6 freshman offensive linemen coming in, not really from the draft, but also last time we talked, we didn't really get the update from Rod Johnson, and he ended up having spinal problems. So they're going to have to replace him. Looks like Martez Ivey, the big-time recruit, true freshman, probably going to come right in and play now. Johnson was going to probably end up playing right tackle, so Ivey's probably going to come in right away. Siles, Cameron Dillard, Kavaris Harkless, they'll play inside. They'll help if Trip Thurman can't come along. But I still, the offensive linemen struggled, it seemed like, the whole time Will Muschamp was here, and somehow 4 of them are on in the NFL. It's a conundrum I can't figure out.
And with what's left outside of Vanderbilt, I don't know if there's a bigger positional unit question mark than offensive line for the Florida Gators. So that really needs to be a focus in August. Obviously, will be for Mr. McElwain and company. Running back Matt Jones, I'm a bit surprised that he went in the 3rd round. Top 100 pick in the NFL after a nice career, but not an explosive career at Florida. 800. I think you're in decent shape at running back, right?
I think so. Kelvin Taylor, Fred Taylor's son, come right in. Him and Matt Jones kind of, mostly split the carries last year. Both had that dominating game against Georgia. Kelvin Taylor, McElwain was impressed with what he saw from the spring, and I think McElwain's offense really stepped up for him. He's got the one zone read, picking out holes there, and that's what Taylor really excels in my opinion. But I'm really, really excited to see true freshman Jordan Scarlett coming in. Probably the prize recruit under McElwain so far. He's going to be the workhorse, the Trent Richardson type that McElwain knew so well at Alabama. Really, they're going to split some carries. I think Adam Lane, kind of from what we've kind of heard, yes, he had the gut. McElwain kind of questioned how much he really wanted to be there this spring, and that's never what you want to hear from a first-year coach, and not the impression you want to make on a first-year coach. So I think Scarlett will come in. He'll start eventually getting carries. I think 2nd, 3rd ball game, Lane will kind of just shuffle back down the chart. So Kelvin Taylor, Jordan Scarlett, I think are your main 2 backs to take over for Matt Jones.
All right, David, we finished on a depth chart in the NFL as a wide receiver, but make no mistake about it, he got drafted because he can return kicks. Ran a 4.38 at the Combine. Andre Dubose goes to the Raiders. So you got to replace a guy who was very special on special teams.
I would never forget this guy is the next Percy Harvin. No, it didn't turn out that way. He was one of Urban Meyer's finals last big recruits, and 6 years at Florida, never really amounted to anything, couldn't really stay healthy, work ethic really wasn't there. But yeah, he was the speedster. He made his big plays on special teams. I think the only big offensive play I remember was in Alabama 2010. He catches a bomb on first play of the game, pretty much his biggest play ever as a wide receiver at Florida. So yeah, they're not, like you said, they're not going to miss him there. But he was probably the best return specialist has ever had. Could always get, he was always dangerous returning kicks and punts for Florida. And that's about the only place he'll be missed.
All right. SEC Sports Insider, 8 players drafted by the Florida Gators to the NFL. So a lot of gaps to fill, and you got us all set for the fall. Thanks, David.
Thanks, Mark.